Justin Mullins, the self-proclaimed new media messiah, makes his return to the air after a year of exile.
Hilarious, philosophical, controversial. These are just some of the words used to describe the Friday Night Freak Show. The Freak Show is an internet radio show and the brainchild of the host Justin Mullins, a DJ that has practiced his craft since the age of 16, and like all passions, he doesn't do it for money. Justin Mullins is the true definition of a starving artist.
Justin Mullins, known as the Buddha of broadcasting.
One of the biggest leaps in radio in the last 20 years has been the rise of internet broadcasting. Today, anyone with the drive and an internet connection can reach millions of people without restriction. Justin Mullins is just one of many who are using internet radio as their platform to reach out and entertain listeners.
Good evening. I am the new media messiah, the Buddha of broadcasting, the minister of mischief, and the most controversial voice in all of America, Justin freaking Mullins. I was always a performer. When I was a young child, in 5th grade, I was in the performing arts, which was like the real life Glee, and I dressed up in a sparkly vest and sang and danced on stage, but when my voice changed, I wasn't that good of a singer. So, and also I really wanted to be a rock star when I was young. And I grew up, with the Steven Tyler, I had a shower curtain rod, and I had scarves attached to it with a microphone from a karaoke machine. I would rock out in my bedroom, but I found out I didn't have any musical talent. So I had to go somewhere, do something else, and put my talents to good use. But I do have a good voice after my voice changed and everything. And I'm also very good at public speaking and talking off the cuff. So radio was a perfect fit. I started in radio when I was 16. I worked for my high school. My high school had a broadcasting class, and we did a TV show. And during lunch, I would do my own radio show. I guess that's where the Freak Show really got started, was during lunch my junior year of high school. And then I was also on our TV program. We did the news and then kind of like a morning show, kind of morning talk show. And I was writer, producer, director for that. That was where my controversy first started. That's the first time I got kicked off the air officially. But at the same time, I was also working for a real radio station. It was a conglomerate of like 6 or 7 radio stations at the time. It ended up being 11 radio stations. And it was owned by former NAB chair Walter May, actually, in Pikeville, Kentucky.
Justin definitely has a one-of-a-kind personality that translates well in his show. But that same personality has also caused him some speed bumps throughout his broadcasting career.
It was 11 different radio stations I was working for, and we had a pop station, and it would play newer music mixed with new rock and such, and they wanted me to start doing a news segment during Kid Craddock in the morning because they had time to fill. So I decided I was going to do a very fun, kind of Jon Stewart-esque newscast that was humorous and the younger generation could get down with it. And for about a year and a half, I did that. It turned out really well. I would play a song underneath the story that had something to do with the story. Like they did a rubber duck race for charity where everybody purchased a rubber duck and then they raced them down the river. So I did, Rubber Ducky, Joy of Joy. Reporting for Z-Rock 107.5, I'm Justin Mullins. Good morning. And it would play the song. It would be a little humorous. Well, one time I did one. There was a young girl in Michigan who called the police and told the police that her mom was taking her to alleyways and then giving a powdered substance in a white bag to men in exchange for money. She told this to the police. She was like 5 or 6 years old. And so they arrested her for trafficking cocaine. And the song that I used underneath it was, Eric Clapton. So I did my outro, reporting for Z-Rock 107.5, I'm Justin Mullins. She don't like cocaine. Good morning! I thought it was innocent enough, but the vice president called me into her office and she said, Justin, am I going to have to listen to you every morning? And my response was, please, I'm brilliant. Because I desperately wanted to be recognized for the talent that I have.
So what can you expect to hear if you decide to tune into the Friday Night Freak Show?
Sometimes I have some bands on. We have some live music in here. I love that. Love having live music on. I always have a panel. They're called the Friends of Freaking Panel, and they come in, they sit around, they have discussion with me like you would on any normal panel show. We talk about lighthearted topics. One week we did Freaking Bad, and we talked about the finale of Breaking Bad, and that was a really cool show. I play a host of different games. Most of them sound bad, but aren't. I've got one called Mouthful. That's where I feed my Friends of Freaking Panel a peanut butter sandwich, and then they have to read something off a card. There's another one I've got called What's Your Size? And it's like a Family Feud like survey of whether people like, small, medium, or large with their Big Mac, or what size car they drive. And then the panelists have to guess and, see who gets closest to the right answer. I got another one called Who Said That Twit? And the night that I came back on the Freak Show here this semester, everybody that was on the panel they all have really good Twitters and say some really hilarious things. So I took their Twitter feed from over the summer, and then I would read the tweet from them, and then they had to guess who said that twit.
Despite being an edgy program, Justin doesn't see it as controversial, just honest and fun. Being able to speak completely free on his program is one of the things he can do that wouldn't be allowed on commercial radio.
One of the things, I don't really find myself, I've dubbed myself the most controversial voice in America because of all the times I've been let go, and it doesn't even count the time that I was fired from here for having the stripper on the air. But I didn't get into broadcasting to make money. I want to do my craft. If I make enough to be able to eat and live on, I don't have a kid, I don't have a wife, I'm a single guy still. I'm married to my work and my profession. So as long as I can get by and I can afford a couple of video games and some nice food, I'm happy. And if I get to be on the air, especially, you're so restricted on so many commercial radio stations. If I get to be on the air on a station like this, where I can truly do what I want to do, because so many times I spent years wanting to be Justin freaking Mullins on the air. I didn't get to be Justin freaking Mullins until I got here. And that's a name I came up with when I was in high school on the original broadcasting class I took. When I was 16, over a decade ago, I came up with that name. And that's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be that persona. And sometimes I wonder if the me that people see out there is the character I've created, or if it's the real me. I'm not even sure anymore where one ends and where one begins, because I've been so married to my craft. So as long as I get to be me, if I get to be Justin freaking Mullins and show my personality and do the things that I want to do, I'm happy. Screw money.